We were looking forward to spending the next few days in Nieuwoudtville to experience their annual spring flower extravaganza. The drive up Van Reinsdorp Pass, with its magnificent view over the Knersvlakte, was breathtaking, and we arrived at the Dutch Reformed Church to start our blooming good flower trip. The little village of Nieuwoudtville is a popular tourist destination in South Africa, especially during the wildflower season, because of its many unique attractions, which hopefully we will experience if the weather permits. The Tourist Information Centre in the church hall recommended that we book into Die Blauwe Huis, a bed and breakfast that had a few caravan sites as well, and was just around the corner. But because the weather was not too promising, especially on Sunday, we booked in for the next 4 days. Saturday morning was dry and a bit brighter, with the sun trying to break through, so we headed off to the Hantam National Botanical Gardens, just outside town. Unfortunately, the entrance gates were firmly locked. Maybe they're not open over weekends. I managed to spend a little time admiring the fields of flowers through the fence. Instead of waiting, we decided to take the 25-kilometer drive to the Quiver Tree Forest, which is another must when visiting Nieuwoudtville. As we entered the private farm Gannabos, where the forest is situated, we could see the quiver trees silhouetted on the side of the hill. The striking aloe dichotoma trees together comprise the largest aloe forest in the world. The quiver tree got its name long ago from the Khoisan hunters who would journey here to source holders for their arrows. The hollowed-out branches made excellent quivers to hold their poisoned hunting arrows. The sun shone brightly, and the wildflowers opened to create multicolored carpets amongst the quiver trees. On our way back we stopped in at the Nieuwoudtville Falls on the Doering River, but to our surprise there was no water at all. The falls usually looked like this, with water gushing out of a hole in the rock falling 90 meters into the gorge. But this time not a single drop of water, just a pool where the water once flowed. Back at camp we had time to do a little exploring of Die Blauwe Huis, which is unconventional to say the least. The owner is an auctioneer and has decorated his buildings and grounds with an array of interesting items he must have found over the years. There was something new and weird around every corner. They even had a touring vehicle available to take residents to view the flowers twice a day. Even the ablution block, although very functional, was extremely funky. Later that afternoon we joined other residents and visitors to watch the Springbok play New Zealand, and much to our dismay they lost 23-35. So we drowned our sorrows in Ben's chilly sherry. It rained all day Sunday, so we just chilled, but Monday was a glorious day. Today, with the sun shining, we would be able to visit the 2 flower farms, Maatjiesfontein and Die Boerenplaats. But first we popped into the Dutch Reformed Church to view the flowers, which were quite spectacular. Then we went into the church hall to look around the various stalls. And to buy some pancakes, which we ate in the van. We arrived at the Nieuwoudtville Potstal, paid our 10 rand per person entry fee, and started on the 7-kilometer drive around the farm. We stopped and walked on a hill full of yellow cat's tails, interspersed with many other beautiful blooms. We continued our drive along the farm roads, through fields of multicolour flowers, and judging from their abundance and density, it certainly appeared that spring had finally arrived. As our visit to Nieuwoudtville came to an end, we were left breathless by the most stunning display of spring flowers we had ever seen. Our next stop was Boereplaas, a few kilometers back towards Nieuwoudtville. It is a working farm that allows self-drive visits during flower season. The first field of flowers that we came across was what they called snowlands, and you can see why. These beautiful white flowers stretched all the way up the hill to where we saw the rare red cat's tail. Apparently the yellow one is more common, but the red is really scarce. We were lucky to see so many of them. Well, that was the end of our blooming good flower trip to Nieuwoudtville, which really turned out to be blooming good.